What is up, coordinators, naturals, and everything in between? I am just a simple new type, and in this video, we are picking up the pieces of the Cosmic Era post-Operation Spitbreak. In our last journey through the Cosmic Era, we saw what the Earth Alliance was willing to do to win the war. We also know that Raoul Le Creuset seems to be playing both sides a little bit. Kira also stole the Freedom Gundam from Zaft with the help of Lacus. We will return to the Orb Union, where we will see what happens when the neutral nation is forced into battle, and we will see alliances shift. So let's get into this. Athrun goes to meet his father, who is now the Supreme Council Chairman. His father assigns Athrun to take out the Freedom Gundam using the new Justice Gundam. The reason this unit must not be in the hands of the enemy is because it is equipped with an in-jammer canceller. Now remember, the neutron jammer disrupts radio waves, neutralizes radar, and messes with precision-guided weapons. The neutron jammer canceller makes neutron fission possible, removing any radio disturbances. The Gundam acronym for the Justice and Freedom is Generation Unsubdued Nuclear Drive Assault Module. The creator of the in-jammer canceller is Yuri Almafi, father of Nicole. While prepping the Justice, Athrun apologizes to Yuri for what happened to Nicole. He definitely appears to be motivated by his son's death. Kira meets with the Archangel team. He tells the team that he is no longer fighting for Earth or Zaft. He also lets them know about the in-jammer canceller. They debrief on the Cyclops system and how Zaft switched their attack from Panama to Alaska. Kira tells Ramius that Plant didn't know about this plan either. The Archangel crew are also unsure of what they should do. Because they left the battlefield, they would be considered deserters and would probably be executed for it. They wonder if they should take their chances with Orb. Sai tells Kira that Flay has been transferred off the ship. Meanwhile, one thing that Patrick Zala told Athrun is that all associates involved with the theft of the Freedom must be killed. Athrun realizes that this means Lacus must die as well. He goes to look for her. He finds Pink-chan, which means Lacus must be nearby. He finds her in a theater singing. Lacus confirms to Athrun that Kira is still alive and that Athrun didn't end up killing his friend. Lacus asks Athrun, what is he fighting for? Athrun was followed by Zaft. They try to kill Lacus, but Athrun protects her. Some of Lacus's men come to save her. She leaves, making Athrun question everything about what he is fighting for. Athrun finally launches in the Justice Gundam. Like the Freedom, the ZGMF X09A Justice Gundam has more or less infinite power due to its nuclear reactor, phase shift armor, multi-lock-on system, and of course, an in-jammer canceller. Exclusive to the Justice is the Phantom 00. With the help of the Phantom 00, the Justice can enter high mobility aerial tactic, or high map mode, for higher acceleration and mobility. This makes the Justice extremely fast. The Phantom 00 can also be used similar to the Ghoul. Athrun goes on the hunt for Kira. The Archangel makes its return to Orb. Uzumi tells the Archangel crew that the Atlantic Federation has been putting pressure and they will officially become enemies soon if they don't join and support the EA. Also, a reminder, when the Cyclops system destroyed Joshua, it took out a good chunk of the Eurasian Federation with it. Now the Atlantic Federation is the majority of the EA and allows Blue Cosmos to sneak its way into the mix. The Atlantic Federation is now taking a hard stance on coordinators. Meanwhile, Rao and Zaft are on their way to Panama to take out the Panama mass driver. This will cripple Earth's gateway into space and leave them stuck on Earth. Rao invites his prisoner, Flay, to observe the upcoming battle. The attack begins. One of the pilots on the front line is Isaac and the duel. Pillboxes aren't enough to take out Zaft's forces. On the battlefield, defending Panama, is the Strike Dagger mobile suit from the 13th Autonomous Corps. The GAT-01 Strike Dagger is a mass-produced mobile suit that is based off the Strike Gundam. Unlike the Gundam, the Strike Dagger doesn't have phase shift armor and striker packs. It also has an OS that can be used by natural pilots. This was created by the Omni Enforcer, which is an arm of the Atlantic Federation and mainly composed of Blue Cosmos members. Zaft launches Gungans throughout Panama. These are giant EMPs. The machines go off and the power goes out. Zaft are able to destroy the masked driver and take out Panama forces. Back at Morgenrot, Erika shows Kira they fixed up the strike and added a natural OS to the mobile suit. Mulaflaga wants to pilot the strike. He also acknowledges he is no longer an EA officer. The strike and Freedom do a little training. The Earth Alliance Council consists of representatives of all the Alliance member nations. This must have been a really awkward meeting for the Eurasian Federation representative. During this meeting, we meet Murata Azrael, the president of Blue Cosmos. Azrael will go to any lengths to ensure the destruction of the coordinators. He wants to pressure Orb, but most likely he just wants to test his new mobile suits. They send a message to Orb telling them that if they don't assimilate with the EA, they will be considered helping Zaft and an enemy to the EA. Remius informs the crew that they are no longer under her command, and if they wish to leave, they can. However, everyone stays to support their captain. Everyone except Kazui. Meaty tells Diarca that he is no longer a prisoner of war since they aren't enemies anymore. Atherin meets up with Reverend Machio, while Mu finally makes his moves on Remius. Azrael and the EA begin their attack far off the shores of the borders of Orb. The Archangel takes off. The Estrays also join the battle. They run into Strike Daggers. Kira and the Freedom and Mu and the Strike launch. The new Earth pilots Orga, Clotho, and Shani launch in the new GAT Gundams. The GAT X-252 Forbidden Gundam is piloted by Shani. It has a high-speed assault form and uses the X-200 frame like the Blitz Gundam. Its specialty weapon is the Geschmeidig Panzer, which is an energy deflection weapon. It also has a transphase armor, which is superior to the phase shift armor. The GAT X-131 Calamity Gundam is piloted by Orga. It is designed using the X-100 series frame and inherits the Buster Gundam's artillery attack concept. It doesn't have a mobile assault mode, so it rides on top of the Rider Gundam to go into battle. This is a long-range mobile suit and has a 337mm plasma sabot bazooka, a long-range beam cannon, energy cannons, and an anti-beam shield. It also is equipped with the transphase armor. The GAT X-370 Raider Gundam is piloted by Clotho. The Raider takes after the Aegis Gundam and also uses the X-300 frame. Like the Aegis, the Raider has a mobile armor mode. It also uses the transphase armor and uses the Mjolnir spherical breaker as its melee weapon. This short-ranged attack uses a mace on a wire and spins so it can block, beam, and shell weapons. Kira rains fire. Mu is still trying to get adjusted to the strike. The Calamity, Raider, and Forbidden begin their attack on Orb. Strike comes in with the Sword Striker. The Forbidden deflects Freedom's beam attacks. The Archangel is getting heavily attacked. Suddenly, Diarca in the Buster Gundam comes in and helps the Archangel escape. The three Gundams overwhelm the Freedom, but Atherin in the Justice comes in to save Kira. If you're watching the remastered edition, there is a brief moment where you see Shin Asuka and his family retconned into this scene. Shin will play a much bigger role in Destiny. Raider Gundam comes in and attacks Justice. Orgo, Clotho, and Shani are all fighting chaotically and getting in each other's way. Freedom and Justice double-team Calamity Gundam. It also seems like the strike has the Ale, Sword, and Launcher Striker all equipped at once. I didn't know you could do that. Orga and Shani fight against themselves. Suddenly, they are impacted by some issue. They say they are out of time, and they retreat with the rest of EA forces. Athrun tells Kira that he has no intentions of fighting him or his men, even though that is what his orders are. He wants to have a conversation with Kira. Athrun and Kira meet face to face. Kigali comes in and gives them both a hug. Athrun apologizes for killing Toll, and Kira apologizes for killing Nicole. Back at Earth Forces, the 3 new Gundam pilots are all freaking out. This is because they are biological CPUs. These biological CPUs were conditioned, trained, and abused from a young age to produce a result for naturals similar to that of a coordinator. However, they are unstable mentally and physically because of this. They must take gamma-glypheptin if they ever have an episode. This drug provides dopamine and adrenaline, and if they don't take this drug, they end up dying. The EA technically treats the biological CPUs as products and not humans. There are doctors and scientists constantly monitoring them. After a dose of gamma-glypheptin, they are ready for round 2. Orb prepares for another attack. Uzumi and Kigali are frustrated that Earth Alliance won't even attempt to have talks and would rather attack. Kira goes back out in the Freedom. If Earth truly does plan on destroying Orb, then this may be a tough battle for them to win. Calamity and Freedom begin fighting. Raider comes in. Athrun decides to join the battle and help Kira. Kigali wants to fight, but she needs to learn how to be a commander. Izak and Rao are watching the battle from a Vazgulav sub. Rao tells Izak that Flay may be the key. Raider and Forbidden return to the ship. Calamity follows suit after Freedom does some damage and their power drains from the mobile suit. Azrael notes that the biological CPUs are good enough to fight against coordinators. Since the EA retreats yet again, it gives Orb time to talk. Uzumi Atha gives the orders for Orb to retreat while the higher-ups stay behind and self-destruct the Kaguya, which is Orb's mass driver system and its armaments factory. The people have been evacuated, so the destruction won't leave a scar on their people. You know. Except Shin's family? Uzumi forces Kigali to get on her ship, the Kusanagi, and leave her father to defend the nation. She fights him. The Archangel takes off with the Buster and Strike to defend it. Justice and Freedom fight Calamity, Raider, and Forbidden as the Kusanagi preps for takeoff. Uzumi calms Kigali down by telling her that she will be with her brother. Uzumi gives Kigali a picture of her as a baby with a twin boy. That boy just so happens to be Kira. This was the secret that the Yamato family was trying to keep from Kira in our last episode. The Kusanagi takes off. The Justice and Freedom hitches a ride while defending the ship. They are able to successfully launch into space using the mass driver system. On Orb, Uzumi self-destructs the base and the Kaguya. Kira watches as the once allied nation goes up in flames. Kigali cries out for her father. And that will do it for this episode. We are starting to see much of the cast finally fight for what they believe in. As the Archangel and Kusanagi go up into space, we leave behind the once strong neutral country, the Orb Union. We see how small nations unfortunately sometimes don't have a chance against two unstoppable forces when it comes to war. Although it is still the Earth Alliance, it is clear that the Atlantic Federation and Blue Cosmos are running the show. We will also see a divide in plant factions as well in the near future, so no one is working together. All a part of Rao's plan? In our next episode, Through the Cosmic Era, we will see Athrun confront his dad. We will see the return of a character that we thought was dead, and we will see the rise of the Eternal and the Klein faction. But until next time, coordinators, if you are a smaller nation being dominated by a bigger kid, remember, you could always go out with a bang. Peace.